Well, hello then, I do hope you're all well. How was our bumbling Liz Truss really exposed on foreign aid and the Rwanda deal? What do you think? Well, in a cross-party select committee meeting, Tom Tugendhat was asking her about basically, what extra resources are we putting into this Rwanda deal from the Foreign Office? Cue Liz Truss's partner in chaos with weird voice changes. Then he asked U-turn Liz her views on whether foreign aid should be returned to 0.7% from 0.5%. Again, watch her rabbit in the headlights look, then listen to the reply. Shows that she's just incredibly vacuous. Then watch Labour MP for Bermondsey and Old Southwark, Neil Coyle, ask her some belting questions about this ridiculous Rwanda deal, to get more rabbit in the headlights look, and me trying to keep a straight face.
Can I just ask very specifically about an area where you've committed to do extra work? We're all aware of the Rwanda policy and the oversight that has been promised into Rwanda to support those. What extra resources have you put into Rwanda?
I'd have to come back to you on the precise details, Chair. I think what we've done is used our excellent High Commissioner and his team and their time as the resource in support of the Home Office led third country asylum partnership. I would have to absolutely check whether I don't think we've put in additional. We've then obviously at the UK end, as you'd expect, as FCDO, played our part in the cross HMG work on this priority area.
The commitment. I just asked because the commitment was to have oversight in Kigali of those refugees who'd been sent to Rwanda, and I'm just wondering what commitment you made as part of that agreement, because presumably there was some consular responsibility as part of that. I'm sure the Home Secretary would have asked for support, because of course this is a High Commission, not a government department. What commitment
and our High
did you
Commission
make?
is very closely involved.
I'm sure. I'm just wondering what
is happening there, and it's worth saying that Rwanda is a country where we are building a series of partnerships with Rwanda.
Absolutely,
on a number of issues.
I understand that. I don't wish to sort of be in any way critical. That's a Home Office policy, and we're not going into it. I'm just wondering, you must have made a commitment to the Home Secretary. What did she ask for, and what have you committed to do in the High Commission in Kigali in order to support the promise made by the British government to have oversight of refugees, supposedly numbered in the hundreds, who will be at some point in the imminent future being
my understanding is that would be led by Home Office officials rather than FCDO officials. I mean, and this is, for all of the migration work we do, Home Office officials lead in terms of assessing accommodation. All of those types of issues is very much Home Office led. So we provide diplomatic support, but we wouldn't be providing that type of oversight.
What preparations have you made to provide diplomatic support to how many Home Office officials in Kigali?
I'd have to.
So the Chair will have to come back to you on the numbers. I think the key thing is the High Commissioner and
thank heavens for geopolitics there.
And his team have put at the disposal of the Home Office, their diplomatic influence and access and support as we've had our discussions with the government of Rwanda.
And it's worth saying, I mean, one of the points I've focused on as Foreign Secretary is empowering our missions more. So particularly in development aid, giving them larger development budgets, having more decisions taken at country level, because they are in a better position to decide which projects are going to add value than people sitting in Whitehall. And that is a better way of delivering that is less bureaucratic than what we've had before. So yes, there are areas where we are having to prioritise, but broadly speaking, we're also making our network work better, and I think we're getting more out of our staff on the front line as a result.
I'm just going to come to Neil Coyle in a second to go on to more on Rwanda, but before I do you support financial targets for foreign aid?
What do you mean by that?
It's 0.5%. Do you support financial targets for foreign aid?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
Do you think that the foreign aid target should go back to 0.7%?
We have pledged that it will go back to 0.7%.
Indeed, I'm just wondering what you think.
Well, the answer is I always agree with government policy, Chairman.
There we go.
Yes, just say the quiet bit out loud, Dizzy Lizzie. Yes, in other words. Sod the vulnerable poor people in other countries.
Delighted to hear it. Let's go to Rwanda.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of jet lag or something, but I'm really concerned about this. So, is the FCDO's position that the Home Office will have staff on the ground to handle the new partnership?
The partnership was signed by the Home Secretary with her counterpart in the Rwandan government. And of course, the United Kingdom and Rwanda have a very close relationship, which the Foreign Office is responsible for. But this is a Home Office policy, which we are working with the Home Office to deliver in Rwanda.
So, the UK-Rwanda Migration and Economic Development Partnership is a Home Office policy.
Yes.
You're quite happy for the Home Secretary to be leading on economic development partnership contracts with other governments? Are you out of a job?
No.
That's a good question. No wonder the ERG love her. You could tell the reason why they've thrown everything into the Digi Lizzie hat, because she's very easy to control, isn't she?
Believe me, I have plenty to do, and I have numerous colleagues working internationally. So I have the Energy Secretary signing energy partnerships with other countries. I have the Justice Secretary, working on the International Criminal Court. That's the way the Foreign Office is a department that delivers in certain areas, particularly in international development, but we have other delivery departments, such as the Home Office, who are the experts on dealing with migration, and we also have the Business Department, who are the experts on dealing with energy. So we work collaboratively across government. We were fully involved in this policy development, but in terms of delivery, it's a Home Office responsibility.
It sounds like chaos. So when the UN
it's a coherent government policy.
When the UN say this is an illegal policy, unlawful policy, do you say go and talk to the Home Secretary as your subordinate, as part of your team? It sounds like in your recent description just then.
I don't recognise the premise of that question. This is
UN
a perfectly legal policy that this government is pursuing, and I'm sure, as you're aware, Mr. Coyle, all government policies are cleared cross-government, getting the support of all government departments. So we've worked very closely with the Home Office on this policy.
And as the Foreign Secretary for the United Kingdom, no country has raised concerns with you about the legality of that policy?
No, in fact, what has been raised with me by foreign counterparts is wanting to learn from the UK's policy so that they can engage in similar arrangements.
Just don't send anybody who's LGBTQ, though, apparently.
And as things stand, there's absolutely no plan to provide additional resource or staff from the Foreign Office to help run on the ground in Rwanda the operations.
I think, to be clear, what I said was we'll have to come back to give chapter and verse on the arrangements for putting in place at the High Commission. We work in partnership with the Home Office.
Right. And then on the money that this is spending, who is responsible for the £120 million aid package? I mean, that should be FCDO, right? Who's overseeing that £120 million deal?
That's the Home Office.
The Home Office for overseeing the aid package.
The ODA budget is not just spent by the Foreign Office. The ODA budget is spent by other government departments, and it's overall managed by the Treasury, which is back to Mr. Byrne's point earlier.
So the 0.5, the reduction to 0.5% to 0.7, is the £120 million?
It's not ODA.
It's what, sorry?
It's not ODA. It's not ODA money. It's not coming from the development budget.
So with the increase the inevitable increase, the justified increase in support required to deal with Ukraine, Afghanistan, and also this unlawful policy in Rwanda, none of that is included in the 0.5%. What was the purpose of reducing to 0.5%? Was it just tokenistic?
Yeah, I'd say it's tokenistic, judging by the deathly silence. Brilliant question.
The overall ODA budget is 0.5%.
None of this additional aid.
And for example,
would be
the
considered.
Ukraine funding is within the 0.5%. I mean, the budget that the Permanent Secretary is talking about is a Home Office budget. So the budget we control is, I mean, I can give you the numbers if that's helpful, but 8.5 billion for 21-22, that goes up to 9.2 billion for 22-23, and it goes by 2025, it's up to 9.9 billion. But that is the ODA allocations that are down to the Foreign Office, and which we are responsible for.
Thank you. Royce.
That reply about foreign aid basically shows that there's no individual thought process in here at all, is there? Basically, I will do whatever the party tells me to do. But that, are you out of a job line? That made me giggle. I thought that's pretty good. And sounds like KS1 was quite funny and all. But that nonsense where she basically said that, yeah, other countries are falling over themselves to see how we strap vulnerable refugees into planes and fly them off to Rwanda. Yeah, that's just utter nonsense. Nobody's going to believe that. I also totally agree about when he talked about the reduction to 0.5% as tokenistic. Absolutely. It was just there to, basically get their rabid racist base messing their pant, getting their teeth in. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed these videos. This will be the last one of watching our Liz Truss practically soil herself and show that she's just totally and utterly inadequate to be Foreign Secretary, let alone our future PM, which is clearly what she's going to be. But anyway, watch the next few years where we watch our country turn to shit through our fingers. Well, anyway, I do hope you enjoy the video. Until the next time, I shall bid you farewell and take care.